Hi, I'm Callum from Trail Vline Motorhomes, and this is the handover on the 2021 Trail Vline 610. So starting off on the driver's side of the vehicle, you've got your two fridge vents, and then this little key here opens this locker, which is your cassette. So to operate your cassette, you need to ensure that the blade's shut on the inside bowl of the toilet. To lift the orange handle, and then it'll slide out. You have got wheels on there, so you can wheel it to your disposal point, which is normally next to your shower and toilet block. You'd remove the grey cap, press the button at the back, which is the orange button, which allows air in, gives it a consistent flow. Once you've tipped it out, if you put some, there's normally a tap, put some water in here, give it a final rinse and tip out again. Then if you're using the blue or the green liquid chemical, cap full into here, and it's good to go back into the vehicle. If you're using the green or the blue tablets, which is the new form of chemical, you put a pint of fresh water in, then you drop a tablet into here, and that'll break down into the liquid. Then if you push it back into the vehicle, when it clicks back in, it's good to use. Down here you've got a grey and a blue tap. So these are your drain down taps. So blue is fresh water. So if you've taken on any contaminated water or you're draining down for the winter, you'd open these. And then this is just your wastewater. So normally you drive over a grid on the way out of the site to deposit your wastewater. You'll also notice this is your flute for your boiler. And then here is how you hook the vehicle up with mains electric. So you've got your mains connectivity point. So what you do is you get your hooker bleed, lift the collar, slide it on, and then if you just press down to unhook, but always hook the vehicle up first, then your power source, and obviously do it in reverse when unhooking. Onto the back of the vehicle, you've got your high level brake light and bullet style reverse camera. You've got storage under here, and there's your carpets, and you've got storage under here. Your leisure battery lives in that cradle there, so you've got a leisure battery, but I'll show you more underneath there and inside. And then you can press these buttons on the door, these black buttons, and you can have 90 degrees of opening your barn doors. There is a rubber on there to stop it hitting the brake lights, and then you do have a blackout blind and a fly screen, and you can open these, but obviously not when in that position. Come round on the passenger side, you've got your LPG. So this vehicle is fitted with a 25 litre underslung gas tank. So to be in it fitting, you'd go to your local services that sell LPG. You turn the front, pull the trigger back and press the dial on the display until it simply doesn't fill anymore. You'll know when it's full, because neither the literage or the money will go up on the display. And to fill these, it's about £15 from empty. And then you've got a lockable freshwater filler. So from the outside, on the other side of the vehicle, should I say, is how you empty the fresh water. If you put a hose pipe in here until it overflows, or until you're happy you've got enough water on board, is how you fill the fresh water. And then you've got a light for this light here, and you've got your electric step, which automatically retracts when the engine is started. The passenger door, you have your diesel filler, so it opens with the main ignition key, so it's a lockable diesel cap. And then below you've got AdBlue, as it's a new diesel engine. So it's a 19 litre tank. You can get this from the services on the pump or buy it in the barrels, and it'll look like an exhaust light that comes up between the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge to top up. But do top it up as soon as it comes on, otherwise the vehicle can go into limp mode, which is 50 mph max speed, or if it goes completely dry AdBlue, it just simply won't start, and you'll need to get Fiat out to sort the problem. We've got tyre pressures here, so 5.5 bar front and back, which is 79.5 psi all round. You've got a tool kit underneath the seat, which has got a jack and a brace and a torn iron, and your engine battery lives underneath the floor on the Ducato, and your bonnet release is on the side of the dashboard. So if we have a quick look underneath the bonnet, got all your fluids to your left. So you've got your screen wash, this cover lifts off and that's your power steering and your engine coolant. You've got your brake fluid, your engine oil and your engine oil dipstick. You've got your paint coat on the front for the Grigio grey. You've got an earth, and if you put your key in here or a screwdriver and just lift this cover up, you've got your positive contact just down there. Going off the weight plate, so forget about this one, go off the sticker. It's now a motorhome by Auto Trail. It's 3.5 tonne. If you were to put a tow bar on, your max train weight can't exceed 6 tonne. So above the sliding cargo door, you've got your master switch. So this turns the vehicle on and off the motorhome, off the leisure battery. So you'll either have 240 volt if you're hooked up, or 12 volt if you're not, which is while camping. And then below, you've got your interior lights, which are all individually switched. And below that, you've got your tap, which is your pump. So you turn this on to pressurise the water for your taps, toilet and shower. Otherwise, you'll get no water through the pump. On the other side, you've got your awning light, which is above the door. And then if you scroll through here, you can go to the start, Sergeant control panel. Click again, it tells you that your vehicle, your leisure battery is 13.5 volts and charging. Click again, you've got 13.3 volts in your vehicle battery and it's charging, which indicates you're hooked up. You've got 25% of fresh water and 0 waste. And then you can, your select battery always wants to be the leisure, as this is what runs the motorhome. You never want to use the vehicle battery to run the motorhome because you can flatten it. And then if you've got the internal humidity and temperature, and you can adjust the time set on the display. Coming to this side, this is your new wheel heat air controls. So all you need to do is waft your hand over them and they are sensitive. So you've got your water here, so you can have it on 40 or 60 degrees of heating your water. You've got the gas there, so when the gas is on blue, it's on standby. That will soon turn to orange, which means it's on. So that's if you are wild camping, you'd heat it off gas. Or you can have it on 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts of electric. So it indicates by the little dots on the front, so you just press and hold. So at the minute it's on gas, and you can see that the electric's gone to orange, which means it is on. And you've got the 3 dots, so now the gas has come on and that's orange, which means it's lit. You've got reset buttons on both of the bottoms, so if you get a red exclamation mark, you can reset them by pressing these buttons here. And then on the other side, you've got your heating, which is exactly the same with the gas or the electric on 1, 2 and 3 kilowatts. And you can adjust the temperature, so in the middle it's about 15 degrees, going all the way round. That is 30 degrees of heating the motorhome up. You can either choose gas or electric, and of course you can run both sources together if you are in desperate need of heating the vehicle or heating the water in the winter months. You've got your light here for your kitchen, so you toggle and that turns on, and then should you have the pump on, you'll have water, so you've got warm water there, pressurized water, and then below, cutlery drawer, some storage, and this is a fuse spur for your boiler, so just make sure that's on. That'll get the electric feed. At the back you've got your Sure Flow pump. So you've got three lit gas rings. Should you've had them on for any length of time, allow them to cool before you put the cooker hood down. And then below you've got your oven, and then above you've got your grill. Underneath you've got some bit of storage, so you've got your gas isolation taps to isolate each appliance on gas. And then this is your boiler drain. So in the winter, you would need to drain the fresh and the waste outside, leave no water in the vehicle, open all the taps within the motorhome and remove your shower head from the hose. And then finally you want to turn this across the vehicle, leave it in that position. It'll drain the 10 litres of water that's held in this tank out directly underneath the chassis to stop it freezing in the winter. Otherwise it's not covered under warranty, as it's your responsibility to drain the boiler down and prevent it from frost damage. This side you've got your fridge. So you turn on here and you've got 3 ways. So you've got mains 240 volt. So when hooked up you would use mains 240 volt to power the fridge. And then you've got gas, which self-ignites, so making sure you've got enough gas in the tank. And that you'd use that if you're wild camping, so you've got no mains hookup. And then you can use the battery setting, which fails now because the engine's not running. So what you do is you pre-chill it on electric or gas. So if you're lucky enough to keep this at home, buy yourself an adapter for the mains lead and hook it up 2 days before you go away. Not only does that allow the battery to charge on the vehicle, but the fridge to cool down. Then the night before, put your shopping in, allow it to chill, and then when you do start the engine, either if you're departing from home with it pre-chilled or you're moving from site to site, put on the battery. As soon as the engine's started, it'll send a 12 volt feed and turn it into a cool box. Keep it nice and fresh. Put your temperature here, so when pre-chilling you might want it on 5, but then when your shopping is in you might want to turn it down to 3 or 4, as it sometimes gets too strong and it'll freeze your shopping. And then when winterizing, again with the fridge, remove everything, give it a clean, push this button in, slide these 2 lugs out. It stops the door from closing on itself and it'll allow air to circulate in and out of the fridge. Above you've got storage, so a wardrobe. This is the table leg which goes in the back, and a fire extinguisher, and the table top is behind the driver's seat there, so you can have that when you're sighted. Coming into the washroom, so as long as the pump's on, you operate the toilet from inside. You just press the blue button, which gives you your fresh water electric flush. And then always flush first, which lubricates the blade. Then what you want to do is, the blade to open is this grey lever, so slide it to the right, which use it with the blade open, then flush after use and slide to the left, which isolates the cassette and allows you to get it out from the top out of the vehicle should you need to get it out to obviously change it. And on here you'll get a light when it is required to be changed. You've got your fold down sink. So again with this, do be careful with them, because when you've got liquid in there it's got to go into this little reservoir, and if you push it too far and fill it, it will just flood the bathroom. So be very careful with it, and that just pops away. And then you do have a toiletry cabinet and a shower screen which has got a press stud on there, so it clips into there just to protect the toilet when showering. If you remove your shower head from your hose, as you can see in the winter months, this has got a loop in here. Any water could potentially freeze in there. Leave all the mixer taps open and put this hose in the plug, so any water will just drain directly out and the waste would be open from the outside anyway. You've got your microwave there in your kitchen, which is a mains 240 volt microwave. It'll only work when hooked up and it's 800 watt. Then to open this style of skylight, you'd press the button in, pull the bar down, pull it all the way at the front, or you can put it into the grooves should you want a nice bit of ventilation, but always make sure that the bar's pushed up and the button's pushed out underneath, which ensures that it's shut before travelling. Same with all your windows. And then you do have a blackout lamp and a fly screen. All your little reading lights are individually switched. And then you do have your solar charge regulator, so you can choose which battery you want to charge. To operate your TV, you've got a master switch here, so make sure that's pushed in, which will allow the red light to come on. use the remote and turn that light to blue, which brings on the TV. And then what you want to do is you want to press AQT to reach. So you would retune the telly every time you move sight by pressing AQT. So there we've got a signal at the moment, but I'll show you. So press AQT, press and hold, and it'll do a channel search. It'll find as many channels as it can. Failing that, you've got source, and you can add HDMIs and USBs. So if you get smart sticks, fire sticks, you can put them in, and then you can hotspot off your phone to make them work. TV booster, so should you be struggling for a signal, you can min and max the amplifier. And then you do have Wi-Fi system on here, so there's an aerial on the roof which will give you a 10 times better signal of 4G than you'd get on your phone because there's an amplifier on. Press and hold to turn this on. It'll then tell you how many devices are connected at any one time. But what you'll need to do is I'd go to your phone provider who you've got your pay monthly plan with and say you need a data only SIM card. You can get it unlimited for about £20. Lift the battery out, put your SIMs in, as these are just pay as you go at the moment and you're forever topping them up. And then what you do is when connecting any device, you just use that Wi-Fi key on the bottom as a password, and then you can connect just like that. To make the bed, what you need to do is, I'll just show you how to make the bed. If you lift this cushion up here, you'll notice you've got two bars at the back. These bars go into these grooves, so there's two at the back here and there's two just here, and they are just to give a bit of strength when the bed is pulled out. So what you do is pop them in place by just sliding one end in, lifting the other end, pop them in place, so both of them, and then what you do is you just slide the lats out and then use the backrests to form the bed. You then got to just press the cushion in as it's a tight snug fit, as it's designed not to move. But what I'd also do is turn these upside down as well, and you'll get a flatter surface to sleep on, no bull nose of the cushion, and then they would just store back in there. They'll slide away like so. You've got some storage underneath here, so there's your carpets all rolled up in your carb mat. So just storage this side, and then to this side you've got your leisure batteries. This has had an additional battery put on, normally just comes with one, but you've got your main battery fuses here as well, so if you're getting any problems with 12 volt, they're just 20 amp fuses, carry some spares. And then you've got your power supply unit. So system shutdown, it'll isolate the leisure battery, but it'll also turn off the head unit in the cab, so that affects the radio and reversing camera. So if you're going to take it for a drive, you must turn this on if you want your reverse camera and radio to work. You've got your RCDs and your MCBs, so these are all your trips on mains electric. And then to this side you've got all your 12 volt fuses, so if anything does trip, they're all labelled up. Carry some spares and you can just replenish the fuse, which is just there. So they are labelled up what does what. So go to your local car factors, Halfords sell standard blade fuses, and just carry some spares with you. And then you've got the same skylight as in the front, so push it open, slide along into the groove, but always make sure that it's pushed up. And you've got a fly screen and blackout blinds. Then operate the windows, push the buttons in, pull the toggles back, and then tighten these to keep the window out. Loosen it, bring the window in, make sure that's all secure before you drive off. and you've got a blackout blind and a fly screen. So now in the cab, to the right of the driver you have your handbrake, and then on the doors you've got your electric mirror adjustment at the front, which you can adjust to two mirrors, so top and bottom, and then you have your electric windows. To black the cab out, so you'd slide this forward, pull it up, and then using this handle here, you'd slide it down to keep it in place, and then you just pull this one up on the windscreen, which blacks the windscreen out, and you've got the same styled on the passenger side. You've got your headlight adjustment here and your rear fogs. Trip computer on the end of the wiper stalk, which will tell you your range, your instant and average consumption, your times travelled and your distance travelled. All your steering wheel controls, your lights and indicators, up to cruise control, which will bring on the green light, and you just get the desired speed and push up. Should you want to speed up, press and hold, you've got a plus and a minus, and bring it down to slow down. Cancel with a foot brake, or cancel on the end, and then you can press again to resume it to the last speed set. 6-speed manual gearbox with lift the collar into reverse, which will then bring on your rear view camera. There you are, so there's the rear view camera. And then you do have ASR off, which is another word for anti-slip relief, traction control, turning it off. Hazards, locks the doors on an evening, so with it being a cargo door, just press that and it'll lock all the doors. Heated mirrors, USB for charging and 12 volt. Glove box, heated and cooled glove box on the top, which has also got a USB in for the head unit. GPS card lives in the top, and then if you turn the head unit on, so just press to turn on and off, then it's your volume as well. So give it a minute and the navigation will come on. So you've got, first of all, it's gone on your DAB radio, so you've got a list there, so you've got all your stations and you can preset up to 6. Go back to home, you've got radio, which is FM and AM, and again you can save 6 of them. Go to navigation, and it'll load up. This unit is an XF270, so you can update them, which is all you need to do is go on to Xsense website, find your update, pop it in, download it on a USB stick, pop it into the USB stick, and then I'll show you how to install it. So just set the sat nav up there. So once set up, you'll get a map of where you are. So it just shows you what road you're on, and then if you press in the bottom right, new route, address, middle bar, you can put a town or a postcode, and then you just go to town, set as destination, and that is how you input your postcode of your address where you want to go. Going back to home, you've got Bluetooth. So it is a Bluetooth radio, so this is searching for a Bluetooth device. If you search on your phone for a Bluetooth device, it'll come up here with your phone's name or whatever you've saved your phone as. Press pair, it'll come up on your phone. You want a pair on there, allow it to sync your contacts, and then you can use your phone, but you can also use Bluetooth audio by clicking on the music symbol here, and if you've got any music on your phone, you can sync it in to the head unit without connecting it. Going further along, you've got USB, where this will come on when that is connected into here. Camera, so should you want a camera on permanently when you're driving forward, you can go onto camera, and if you go scrolling along, you can go to setup. You've got your audio settings there, but if you go to other, if you put the USB in with the software update, you can just press install software, but you can see what version it's running. So it's running V2.4. If there's ever a new one, you just press install software once you've connected the USB with the update on. But you'll notice you've got shortcuts for when you're driving, so you've got home, nav, camera, dab, alternative and Bluetooth. So you can scroll through all there and it'll just run through the different settings it's got, and then you just turn off by pressing and holding. Underneath you've got your climate control, so you've got hot or cold, fan speed must be on at least one or more for the aircon to work, which is this one, and then your distribution, so where you want the air to go to, face, feet or screen, and whether you're bringing fresh air in or recirculating air within the cab. And below you've got two decent sized cup holders. To turn the seats, you'd simply pull these levers out, pull the seat forwards ever so slightly, and turn around into the back. And then located just down by the driver's door, you've got your gas low, or should I say your gas tank indicator, so it'll tell you how much gas is in the tank at any one time. Because the tank fitted to this vehicle is a 25 litre tank, so it'll tell you how much is in there, should you need to top it up or should you have enough.